Welcome everybody to the Yard G2A Festival. It is already the quarterfinal. mYi going up against basically unknown. Of course, we have already had one semi-final. It was yesterday. 4 ASC, 4 anchors and the sea captain going up against mYi. Not mYi, what I'm saying, Moscow 5 that is. Where 4 ASC took the game rather convincingly there. So we have one finalist already. But this is just a quarterfinal still. Vega Squadron, I do believe, should be waiting in the semi-final of it. But this is mYi versus basically unknown, a best of 3 series to find out who can advance to the semi-final here. And of course this tournament, huge shout out to the organizers, Yard Festival themselves, and of course the sponsors for making this happen. G2A, the main sponsor of course, and then eBattle as well, helping out a little bit there. So it's nice for them to just make this tournament happen. A rather straightforward, just single elimination bracket, nothing long, just good tournament. But looking at the draft, it is gonna be a Magnus and the Spirit Breaker banned out by mYi, whereas an Undying plus the IO have been removed by basically unknown, and well, it is gonna be that Beastmaster first pick. Heroes still left in the pool though, Queen of Pain, Gyrocopter, Visage as well if mYi would like to go for that one. And we'll see how they want to just approach this, as I have to make a small teeny tiny adjustment to the team names as well here. Or not the team names, but the players, just because, well, we are going to have a Grisine instead of Slash Strike. It's going to be fine though, because it's a fast fix, or at least should be. But it is going to be Gyrocopter as one of the hero pickups, but it's a Dragon Knight as the secondary one. Dragon Knight, of course, is a stronger hero, a hell of a lot stronger of a hero than he used to be. The buff was rather substantial there, to the Breathe Fire most importantly, of course. So we'll see how well that's going to work out for them in general. But basically unknown, what are they going to pick up as their own secondary pick? Are they going to go for the Visage themselves, just have the Hawk, have the Familiars for all that vision there? Or are they a little bit afraid, maybe going to go for something else entirely? I mean, I still would like Visage, just lots of solo kill potential, so to say. You start with the Primal Roar on somebody, you follow it up with that Soul Assumption, and then the Familiars also helping out a little bit if necessary. Plus, if you pick up the Visage, it's almost certainly gonna make it so that mYi would want to ban out a Drow Ranger, for example. But there is also the Queen of Pain still left in the pool if they would rather go for that one, for example. And yes, Queen of Pain will be the hero that basically unknown will utilize in game number 1 here. Of course, the Magnus was banned out just because for basically unknown, Arise, of course, is a really avid Magnus player. Almost every single time he stood in for a team, they picked Magnus for him. Nobody cared if Magnus was actually part of the metagame or not, but it was just that popular of a pick for them. Or for him, I should say. Now though, next set of bans, Earthjacker banned out first. I wouldn't be all that surprised if, for example, a Lion also got banned by basically unknown, just because otherwise the life for Queen of Pain might be a little bit tough. Then again, even if you ban out the Lion, it's still gonna mean that there's like a Skyriff Mage in the pool that mYi could easily go for. Ancient Seal boosting up the damage of Call Down, of Rocket Barrage. It is a good combination. Also just Dragon Tail into Mystic Flare, Dragon Tail a long just duration stun even from level 1 already. As well, we'll see what the rest will bring to us here. Slark was banned by mYi. Of course, Slark does have the added benefits of being able to Dark Pact off the Dragon Tail, for example. That's definitely a nice thing. Also the slow from the not the homing missile, but the call down, or just not dodge the homing missile completely, but negate most of its effects at least. And guys, if you're wondering who is Stomanen, it is actually an old player for basically unknown. It is Insolent, but he just changed his name to Stomaneni. I'm not sure if I should say the I in the end, but the meaning of it should be made of steel. At least that's what the viewers let me know last time around. But at the moment, it's going to be the Visage banned out by basically unknown themselves. Of course, had the Visage been left untouched, mYi even could have gone for a Visage Drow combination. Gyrocopter with additional damage from the Precision Aura is a really strong foe to just go up against. Of course, that would have maybe messed up the laning of my Insanity unless they want to run the Gyro as a support, in which case the flak cannon damage isn't really gonna be that scary for them anyway. As my Insanity, they're taking a slightly longer time here, and you can see by the amount of time that the teams have taken to just go for those bans here, that they're definitely taking this game seriously enough. And of course, there is quite a bit of money on the line here, so you should also take this just game with care, or approach with care, just because the first place should receive about 5,000 US dollars here, and you want to make it into top 3. That's your like minimum goal you want to reach, because the top 3 will receive a prize. And well, if you can't make it to top 3, then well, sucks to be you, kind of. But my Insanity now, their third pick about to come, they are definitely lacking supports for now. So I still stand by the Scarf Mage, could definitely be a good hero in just synergizing with their current heroes, plus of course being able to shut down the Queen of Pain, maybe forcing Queen of Pain into either a BKB or a Yule Scepter, for example. Either of those two items may be perfectly fine. As I still Lion is fine. What other hero supports? I guess Witch Doctor is one of the heroes that they may consider as well. Just get a little bit of extra physical damage to their lineup, for example. Paralyzing Cask also a reasonable lockdown, plus it does work fairly well up against the Beastmaster board, for example, just stunning it for an extended period of time. So I think that's one thing that they may consider, or may want to consider at the very least, if nothing else. But it is going to be Disruptor of all heroes to be picked up now. Usually you see Disruptor when it's up against an IO, for example, but it is still a strong enough combination. Kinetic Field just keeping people in the cooldown, in that Rocket Barrage of course as well, or you just glimpse them back to give extra time for the homing missile to catch up to the hero, for example. So it's definitely not a bad hero to go for as well. Basically Unknown. Gonna pick up a Crystal Maiden for themselves. So it's a hero we don't see all that often. Of course the increased mana regen will be nice for the Queen of Pain, even for the Beastmaster, just using those wild axes every so more often. But my Insanity, they don't have all that much time left now. Probably gonna go for the secondary support and leave the offlaner as a mystery. Or if they want to make sure that their offlaner doesn't get banned out, because basically Unknown, if they're spot on with their predictions, they may be able to just get that one hero that otherwise would have been banned, or not banned, but my Insanity would have wanted to pick up. But it is gonna be the Clockwork pick. They don't have like a Mystic Flare, at least not yet, to synergize with the Power Cogs, for example, but Clockwork, the Rocket Flare is pretty nice in scouting out, not scouting, but killing the Hawk, rather, of the Beastmaster. Of course, then scouting out Roshan, because as a Beastmaster, or with a Beastmaster on your team, you will have the Inner Beast just providing extra attack speed. Just go into Roshan. Of course, depends on what heroes they will pick next, because sometimes teams just have rather bad Roshan lineups. At the moment, basically Unknown, for example, it wouldn't be the greatest either. He would have the board to tank it up for a little while, so that would be an added benefit. Plus, like I already mentioned, the attack speed. Crystal Maiden, I suppose Frostbite can also work a little bit, just delaying Roshan's damage output. But their own damage isn't that high onto Roshan himself for now. And for that, what could they even go for? They also do need one more support, but since they have the Queen of Pain for their mid lane, unless they want to run like Beastmaster support, Queen of Pain offlane, something like that. Otherwise, I would have maybe considered like a Shadow Fiend. Although Shadow Fiend has definitely fallen out of favor compared to 6.83. Still, it is going to be a Lina pick instead for basically Unknown. So is this now a support Lina? I would think so. I really highly doubt that they're going to run a Beastmaster Queen of Pain Lina Tricore. It could work out, but you would have to just kind of decide the game, or the fate of the game, by the early mid game. If this goes late, there's like almost no way that Queen of Pain, Lina and Beastmaster, with the three of them, could take on a Gyrocopter and Dragon Knight. Of course, it heavily depends on like how much farm people have and how you like to interpret the word late game as well. But Skyriff Mage is gonna be the ban now by my Insanity. Can't say it's shocking by any means. Although then again, it would have been a hero that my Insanity themselves could have used rather easily. But with this, they are expecting this lane not to be safe lane after all. Or maybe Queen of Pain, aggressive try, something crazy like that. So I'm actually not too sure about the Skyrim Mage ban. For a second I thought it was basically Unknown banning that out, but basically Unknown took out a Dazzle instead. Of course, not negating, but... well, depends on how much armor you have, but providing that extra source of minus armor for their team could have been extremely nice. Also, the Shallow Grave could have been the exact thing that saves you up against the Laguna Blade, up against the Sonic Wave. Or just you get Primal Roar, suddenly the Shallow Grave comes out and you can't kill the target, but whoa, my Insanity! Going for a rather defensive route now with their last pick, picking up a Treant Protector. Living Armor definitely is a nice ability to just keep people alive. It also will make it so that the Gyrocopter, for example, he can dive a little bit deeper if he wants to. At least he can do so now. As basically Unknown, their last pick about to come, 10 seconds in the normal time, 18 seconds only in the reserve time. My Insanity also ticked down to a full 5 seconds of the just reserve time there. So both teams definitely really approaching things carefully. They want to win this game, and it's going to be a Viper as the last one for a Rise. I think yesterday when I saw basically Unknown, it was also a Viper pick for them. So they've definitely played it in the recent past, unless I'm mixing them up with some other team. But late game is not their strong suit now with the kind of lineup that they have. Although it may even be like semi-equal. It heavily depends on whether the Treant Protector will get an Aghanim Scepter and if he can cover his, or well, the map, the entirety of the map with his vision, or whether it's gonna be just Treant Protector not finding the farm, not really doing much of anything, Disruptor not getting his own Aghanim Scepter, for example. As the other heroes now, or not the other heroes, but it's really gonna be a Gyrocopter Dragon Knight show for the late game as well, most likely. But as always, just there are so many variables in a game of Dota. For basically Unknown, it's not like they're gonna be super weak in the late game or anything, but they just may not be the strongest either on the same note. But to introduce the lineups, as always, we have a pause at the start of the game. So for the side of basically Unknown, Nico Baby will be handling the Queen of Pain, leaving Stomaneni on the Crystal Maiden with Shashlo on the Beastmaster, Pure Evil to be the Lina, and that leaves Arise to be that Viper. Man, why can't you just name himself properly? Dumpster player. But it is Arise, almost guaranteed. As for my Insanity, the Lizard will be playing the Treant Protector with Milan on the Dragon Knight, Gogi to be the Gyrocopter, Mitch or Smudge is Punara, Dragon from the Wells I think it meant, is on the Clockwork, and that leaves Grizine as the last one on the Disruptor, and Go has been given in the Russian letters, Go. Wards picked up by the Disruptor, by the Crystal Maid, and of course everybody wants wards, so can't say it's surprising that teams pick it up. Oh, look at him though! He just ran through the barracks like it's nothing. What a baller, man. What can I say? What a baller he is. As for now, Milan, of course, heading towards the mid lane as the Dragon Knight. Can't say it's all that surprising. It is now up to Arise though. How well can he do up against Milan? Milan is rushing for that bottle. So that of course does mean that he's gonna have probably a rather easy time of just getting last hits just using the Breathe Fire. He may not have that easy of a time to just actually try to harass Viper in return, but he shouldn't be completely shut down at least. But that's what I think, because it acts a little bit like a Magnus, who just can also farm with the Shockwave if necessary. Dragon Knight does have the added benefit of just having the Dragon Blood, getting some health regen from that as well. Now though, it does look like the top rune will go in the favor of the Dire. Bottom rune quite easily taken by the Radiant side. So it's going to be one bounty rune each. There is a sentry even on the Lizard. He looks better without zooming in than on the portrait, I have to say. On the portrait he looks like he's obese. That he hasn't worked enough, hasn't carried enough items, a little bit too fat still. But both bounty runes have been picked up. Viper for one, Dragon Knight for the other. So Dragon Knight, he's pretty much already gonna have his bottle before the creeps even meet. So that's definitely a benefit for him, but Viper doesn't really need a bottle even, does have two shared tangos, and Milan shouldn't be able to put enough damage into Viper that he's gonna have to use those tangos, or would need to use those tangos before the cooldown comes off for them. But Milan already has himself a living armor as well, helping out up against the Viper. But as we can see, it's definitely quite a bit of harassment that Milan is taking just from poison attack. Now Dumpster player or Arise hits level 2, is gonna have that Nether Toxin as well to help out. And in such a matchup, it's rather common to go for an aggressive skill build, just maxing Nether Toxin as well as poison touch. And look at that harass coming in. Well, of course, Milan has a bottle, so he's still gonna be fine as long as he gets a 2-minute rune as Couchor. He's man fighting Rezine. He did that yesterday as well, just using that Beastmaster, using that rather high base damage as well as the 4 base armor to just go and man fight. Of course, up against the 3 and 2, that's not a hero you want to fight like that. Even if you have a Stout Shield, just the 87 base damage, those smacks hurt a little bit too much for him. But in the meantime, Pure Evil did get a pretty nice double pull through. Those being Satyrs though, Alpha World camp would have been better because it's more destructive towards the creeps. But the Satyrs are at least gonna help out a little bit there, but it's gonna be a triple pull, so nicely done by Pure Evil. Beautifully executed. Plus, this way, he's gonna get the entire creep wave denied, plus get quite a bit of XP for himself as well at the same time. That's rather important. Of course, in the meantime, Stomanen just farming up the jungle, claritying himself up. Already has that 1 point into the Arcane Aura as well. So the entire team not gonna be too mana hungry, and actually it's rather helpful for the Viper as well in the mid lane. That way he can just keep up with the harass onto the Dragon Knight, who so far has 7 last hits, so he's only 2 behind of the Viper. And well, Viper does have a couple of extra denies, but it's not that big of a deal. Dragon Knight, he really just wants to hit his level 6 with the Elder Dragon form, maybe start setting up kills for the team, start pushing the towers down with that corrosive breath, of course. But now, no first blood happened yet, haven't even come all that close. Milan in the mid lane has a full bottle, so he's gonna be fine to just use Breathe Fire for additional last hits if necessary. Bottom lane, Smudge's Bunara, Mitch has hit the level 3 compared to Shashlo. Well, he's doing slightly better. And oh, speaking of Shashlo, he gets out somehow of the kinetic field, but he's still gonna go down. Rocket Barrage, level 2, just too much damage, and that is first blood thrown by Lizard there. Stream Protector picks it up. I think the last tick of Leech Sheet probably ended the life of him. But Stomanen has both abilities available, has a full mana pool. One slow, I think it missed on the Dragon Knight. But Arise gonna go back in, just wants to keep up with the harass. Even the corrosive skin, 1 value point into it, at least for now. But looking at Stomanen, Smoke was about to wear off and just didn't get the proper angle of initiation, or wouldn't have gotten it onto the Dragon Knight. As well, now it's going to be Stomanen just farming up the enemy jungle. He should still have enough mana, at least soon enough, to use both the Frostbite as well as the Crystal Nova. If they want to go for the Dragon Knight, it would be easier. Oh, Courier Snipe? No, not going to happen. Stomanen didn't think he's gonna be fast enough, and well, your movement speed is pretty bad as bottom lane. Smudge in some trouble, maybe if Pure Evil can land a Light Strike array, but with that 3M Protector Living Armor, Mitch is gonna be just fine to handle this. Shashlo in the meantime still struggling for XP, just 3M Protector as well as Disruptor being extremely abusive, and the supports are out-leveling Shashlo, so really well done by them. Now, even just having to back off from the rune, seeing Milan also coming in. Although Arise is close by with the Borg. Rezine taking some damage. Shashlo gets out of the kinetic field, but Stomanen runs into Lizard. But Arise is there to help. Some nice body blocking from the Crystal Maiden might be enough. Now Lizard starts hitting Stomanen. No, you're kidding me. No, never mind. They had the sentry ready. They got the kill anyway with just the poison damage. And now Milan, he's the next one to fall. Trying to TP out, but they don't think he's gonna make it. Or is he? Oh, wow. A little bit of luck, but then again, he was plenty tanky with that Dragon Blood helping out. Rather high armor, of course. Crystal Maiden's attacks, well, they just scratch him. But still, they got 1 kill on the 3M Protector. They did have to also pop down a sentry though, and this sentry probably isn't gonna get any more value than that 1 kill, although the kill would have been there regardless. But if you just look at purely at the last hits, Gogi, yes, doing a really good job on the Gyrocopter farming safe lane. But then again, so is Nico Baby, 32 last hits. And Nico Baby has had to deal with Clockwork a little bit more than Gyrocopter has with the Beastmaster, I suppose. But the mid lane is where the biggest difference starts to come in. 22 last hits on Arise compared to Milan's 12. But it's just due to the matchup. I wouldn't even like call it outplayed or anything like that, just because, well, Dragon Knight does have a tough time. But it's also Stomanen farming up a little bit, may even go for like a support Hand of Midas, for example. So far just going for support items, getting a dust, getting one ward as well. Power threads finished now on a rise, a little bit tankier, attacks faster as well of course. And with that Viper Strike available to him, if it just gets assistance by one more here, although you can't use Frostbite just because otherwise there might be TPs, and there's the TP just straight after the Frostbite. Oh, that's what I was just saying. Of course, he would have lacked mana for both the Crystal Nova and the Frostbite, but with the Viper Strike and the Crystal Nova plus the poison attack as well, it would have been enough slows for him not to be able to outrun it until the point you have enough mana for the Frostbite. So slight miscalculation, but once again really heads up plays by Milan, starting the TP just immediately once he got frostbitten. For a second it felt like it was even a little bit luck that it came out like straight after as bottom lane. He got the kill on the Clockwork, excuse-moi for missing it. But Nico Baby did use the Sonic Wave, so probably didn't last for all that long. As mid lane now arrives, a little bit low on mana, but the Crystal, or Arcane Aura rather, just keeps him up in fighting shape anyway. Beastmaster has it level 4 in the meantime, so catching up to the Clockwork. Last hit wise, 6 on Clockwork, 5 on the Beastmaster. But it's equal enough, I'd say. Now the Queen of Pain with the Invis rune, once Grisine, I think they know the Disruptor is close by. And with the creeps reaching the tower, they may even go for it. Just Shadow Strike into Dragon Slave into Scream of Pain. Not too sure if it's gonna be enough, but Pure Evil wants to come in from the side. Grisine, he's gonna get stunned up, beautifully set up by Pure Evil. Nico Baby, there's the Scream of Pain, gets the kill, but she's stuck now for a little while. Clockwork, can he get the power cogs surrounding him? And with Milan coming in, they should get at least one kill. They get the one with the Rocket Flare. And of course, Breathe Vulnerable and Breathe Fire did the trick. Rocket Flare just helping out a little bit. So in the end, that dive was not worth it. I think Queen of Pain could have also just ran close by, at least with the Light Strike Array landing. But top lane Couchor will lose his life. The cooldown was used, as was of course Rocket Barrage, but well, Rocket Barrage is always used. Mid lane though, Stomanen, he's smoked up, sees the TP come in. It's Grisine again. Oh, poor Disruptor, or is it a poor Disruptor? The creeps are tanking the tower, of course. Stomanen will close in. Crystal Nova to slow him first. There's the poison attack as well, and with the Frostbite, it is gonna be a kill. So we have a reasonably action-packed early game. Milan gonna get stunned up by Pure Evil. He got the Dragon Tail, but Light Strike Array had already come out by that time. So it's gonna be 8 minutes in, kill score 5-3 for basically unknown. Their farm also across the board just a little bit better there. And if you look at the net worth, you can see Couchor, yes, he's number 1. He's been a part of 2 kills now. 1 to his own name, the first blood was the assist for him. But still, Queen of Pain and Viper doing really well, and not only that, it's also Pure Evil on the support Lina, level 6, 8 minutes in, has the Laguna Blade, and of course it's on such a short cooldown that you can make just great use of it all the time almost. Mid lane now, Viper Strike off cooldown, we have a rise, 1k in the bank for him, but Milan, his Elder Dragon form is cooling off 23 more seconds. There's already Grisine close by, but he's only level 4, there's no Static Storm to really help follow up a Dragon Tail, for example. But now Gogi is going for drums, so gonna go for the good old Gyrocopter build, just Phase Boots Aquila into drums as well. Just cheap, cost-effective items, then maybe BKB next. I really do expect it to be the BKB, but even a BKB may not be just safety for you, especially if there's gonna be an Aghanims later on the Lina, because there's lots of pure damage. Gogi now, he's gonna get slowed down. Do they have a Primal Roar? They don't, but they should still have enough damage, and with that Laguna Blade they do indeed. They do cop a cooldown into their face, but it is well worth it. Unless there's a hookshot Chatslo, he's probably gonna lose his life, but it is still worth it to lose just your offlaner. Especially if they can get maybe a counter kill, Smudge dropping low. They get Nico Baby just glimpsed back. But it's still 2 kills for 1. Pure Evil, he's on a double kill, a killing spree for this support Lina. Does he have a Staff of Wizardry flying out? Nope, it's gonna be... Oh, it's gonna be Tranquil Boots, and then just one more component towards the Yule Scepter. Mid lane, Milan, forced to Dragon Tail Dumpster, or Arise. And will be able to escape. The Crystal Nova even hit him, but Arise had to back off with Gogi TPing in. There's gonna be a homing missile, but probably not gonna do too much. Maybe it's even gonna get killed, yeah, killed before it even just connects with the target. As Dragonite, oh, he got sniped. Nico Baby just went in, popped the Sonic Wave as well. He's slowed down now himself, has a level 3 blink though, so should be just low enough of a cooldown, especially with this haste rune that he found. Although Grisine, is he gonna glimpse? Does he have vision of him? No. The haste plus blink just got him too far away. Although the Thunderstrike was on the Queen of Pain, just the distance was a little bit too far from this Disruptor. I was really thinking that Queen of Pain may just let himself or herself be glimpsed back and then blink out, but turned out fine the way she did it. And Queen of Pain with this, 1700 in the bank, 3, 1 and 2 the KDA, 64 last hits as well, highest farmer in the game. Might be going for a fast Orchid as Gogi. Has to be somewhat careful. There are a couple of heroes close by. They have the Laguna Blade. Milan, oh, he's gonna get slowed down instead. Frostbite will come out. Shadow Strike, Light Strike Array with the Laguna Blade. Well, they once again get hit by the cooldown, but it's just Corrosive Skin to slow down Gogi from that cooldown. And one thing to note out is that Arise isn't even going for a mech this game. Looks to be going for a straight out Aghanim Scepter, so is there somebody even gonna build a mech for their team, or this might be a mech-less game? Chachlo, yesterday he played Beastmaster 2 games in a row, I think, in the Game Show Invitational. Went for Necrobook both times. But my Insanity, their Gyrocopter is still farming, so that's a positive for them. Clockwork, he is doing slightly better than the Beastmaster. Levels are equal, but in farm, there's a teeny tiny advantage to the Clockwork there. As much, he is looking for a hookshot angle. Although, going for a kill on the Viper, of course, without the mech, it's maybe a little bit easier so, but still has 3 points into Corrosive Skin. And it's quite an undertaking if you want to go for that kill. Grizin, still not level 6 either. But do we have any items I may have missed on the dire side? Doesn't look like it for now. Probably this Robe of the Magi and the Clockwork is going to be turned into a Blade Mail. Just reflect the damage, because there is lots of burst damage. And whoa, Queen of Pain did have the Robe of the Magi, but now has picked up a point booster instead. So maybe it's going to go for a straight out Aghanim Scepter, get the lower cooldown, just be able to continue with your advantages. Top lane Chachlo. Oh no, this is going to turn out so bad for them. And yeah, there they go, just easy pickings pretty much. Or are they easy picking? Chachlo gets the Primal Roar off, but yeah, he's just going to go down. Crystal Maiden got glimpsed back as well, and since they're already grouped top lane so nicely, may as well push the tier 1, I think. And the thing is that basically Unknown, they haven't been able to push a single tower yet. They are dealing with a Living Armor, which, granted, is only level 2, but it's rather annoying nonetheless. As you can see, just Cliff plus Living Armor, healing the tower like that. But Milan still struggling, 38 last hits comparing to the Viper's 73. Gyrocopter though, whoa, 100. Quite a bit ahead. Oh, the hookshot lands as well. It's Toman and no, not Arise, but they turn around. There's the freezing field rather, just a frostbite, but Clockwork, even with the Living Armor, still will lose his life in the end. But with the Magic Wand, survives a little bit longer now. They get the slows onto Milan, maybe should have gone for Grizin instead. The Glimpse goes back, but they already get 1 kill, and Laguna Blade gets a second one. Pure evil. MVP support, and in the meantime, Nico Baby at the sidelines finds himself an easy wreckage of Treant Protector. Didn't even need a Sonic Wave for that. And with this, they get the tower down. And well, when Treant is dead, Living Armor of course cannot be applied. 13 to 6 the kill score. Basically Unknown just running away with kills if nothing else. If you can see, like about a 5k net worth lead for them already from this. XP nearing the 7,000 mark, but my Insanity, Gyrocopter is number 1 in net worth. If this tower falls, if Queen of Pain should come in to get the last hit, may pull ahead, but never mind. There's the Glyph, Living Armor as well, so they are going to keep this tower alive for now, and it wouldn't surprise me if this tower was at full health soon enough. But Gogi, Yasha is finished. I don't think it's going to be straight out Manta. Might be just a casual Yasha into BKB, for example. It's hard to say. Since the Orchid isn't what Queen of Pain is going for, Manta is less valuable straight out. But it's still like getting out of Frostbite, for example, it's decent. In the meantime, Pure Evil, level 10 already. Wow, that's pretty sick for a support. Only 4 heroes are level 10 and above, and one of them is the support Lina. And oh, has a Yule Scepter, gets the stun without the Yules as well. What a bowler, but the Living Armor keeps Gogi alive. Yule Scepter buys some more time. Blink forward, Nico Baby, Sonic Wave does clip the Gyrocopter. Gyro down, highest farmer. Plus, that opens up the tier 1 for them as well. In the meantime, Stomanen might be in some trouble if Smudge goes and finds him. Rocket Flare. Oh no, didn't give enough vision. That is so unlucky. Maybe slight misplace from Mitch and Stomanen. He, I think, knew the Rocket Flare came. He just TP'd out in time. All the way back to base, although it wasn't that necessary health and mana-wise. Still makes it out to safety. As there's a smoke picked up as well by the Crystal Maiden now. Maybe they do want to go for a just sneaky movement, but they will not have that Sonic Wave for now. Aghanims is, I think, being delivered. Yes, it is, but since she just used it, it's still gonna be on a longer cooldown. The next time it's gonna be 40 seconds. Bottom lane though, you can see Rise level 2 Viper Strike. Being sneaky, or at least trying to be sneaky. I don't think he's gonna be able to catch up here. Milan just got a little bit too far away. Otherwise, we'll just stop the creep wave from at least damaging the tower. Aghanims delivered out. Lina has hit level 11 as well. Level 2 Laguna Blade, 60-second cooldown. Treant looks to be just stacking those ancients now. And stack it is gonna be indeed. Success. Ancient Black Dragons coming out. Milan with a level 2 just Elder Dragon form can go farm in mid lane though. They get the slow and smudge. But that's about it for now. What level do we have to Charcopter on? It's level 11, has the Flak Cannon maxed as was the Rocket Barrage. As Milan, he gets caught now, got Frostbitten and Crystal Nova. Can he deny himself though? Turns around, goes for the stun onto Pure Evil. They're gonna turn it around indeed. Eul Scepter is used, but Pure Evil uses it on the Dragon Knight, not himself. Maybe a mistake to make. Blink forward, Milan still alive. Can he get another Dragon Tail? One more second. Living Armor, too strong, guys. Gets the stun, but onto a Rise. Gets the Breed Fire off as well. And with the cooldown, they may just get a couple of counter kills. 4 down on Unknown. They get the hookshot onto Nico Babe as well. The glimpse is there, getting him out of the power cogs, and now blinks over my Insanity. But the homing missile will start chasing him. Thunderstrike activated, and they're gonna chase him down. The drums on Gogi helping them out. Nico Baby trying to TP out Rocket Player. One more attack. Ultra kill for Gogi. What a team wipe. And all because they just tried to go for a Dragon Knight for that long. Look at that change in net worth and XP. Oh wow. That's just crazy. I mean, Lina, you are strong, but not that strong it looks like. Living Armor definitely making the difference. Level 4 now as well. Might have been level 3 at the time, not sure, but wow. Although Pure Evil wants some more, gets the Eul Scepter this time around, uses it on the enemy. Light Striker ready to follow, has a Laguna Blade, will use it. And with the Wild Axes helping out, Lina gets the kill with just one more attack. But that Dragon Knight surviving there for so freaking long, and just basically I know they pretty much tunnel visioned themselves onto this Dragon Knight. And just got wrecked because of it, but they are also pressuring the tier 1 now. Another Glyph with a Living Armor is there to heal it up, or try to. And it might even succeed. Lizard coming in with the Nature Skies. Level 1, so won't last that long. But with the Soul Ring, he should have enough mana to just go around with. Net worth wise, you can still see Dragon Knight just doesn't have much of anything. But even with just having nothing, he is still so tanky. Or rather, it's the lack of damage when you don't have a Sonic Wave at your disposal. Laguna Blade was used, but looks like for the Dragon Knight, you are gonna need both of them. In the mid lane, Arise, hanging on the high ground, but he knows there's no way for him to stop Milan from just TPing out. And Milan does have a TP scroll in his inventory. Now though, Shashla in some trouble. There's the Primal Roar coming out, but they're gonna get caught now. I have no idea what that positioning was with the two of them, so Shashla gonna be the Sacrificial Lamb. As you could see, Milan just TP'd out after getting initiated upon by Arise. But Arise, does he have his Aghanims flying out? He does. So that's gonna be an Aghanims coming out. So they have double Aghanims now. But I still say my Insanity not looking as bad. I mean, it used to be almost an 8,000 net worth lead, which has been reduced to by about 5,000 now. XP, it was almost 10k, which is now, well, slightly more than 4. So the one fight definitely helps my Insanity just kind of stay in the game and reduce the snowball of basically Unknown. They chipped like half the snowball off with that one fight. Arise with the Hasto, can he catch anybody? Vipers, as well as Bloodseekers, like biggest enemies are TPs. And in this game already, Arise has had many people TP away from him. As Arise, easy farm. At least relatively easy farm. On the bottom lane, nobody's really disrupting him or anything like that. But there is a double stack, soon to be a triple it looks like. Milan is level 2, has the level 2 Elder Dragon form. Or is level 11 with the level 2 Elder Dragon form. So if he wants to, he can just use that splash to farm up the Ancients. Maybe they're gonna use it together with the Charcopter once it's like a quad stack. Hand of Midas on Grisine. It definitely will help him get towards that Aghanim set, or also get the levels a little bit, but he's level 11. So they're definitely catching up. Because Lina, he was like level 10 when there were only level or 4 heroes being level 10 or above. Now there are way more heroes like that. And with this, you can see that basically unknown, just overall tempo has also slowed down. Charge Law still doesn't even have that level 1 Necro book finished. So they're definitely not just running away with the game at the moment. Is there gonna be a smoke though? Is there a smoke at all? SNY finished on Gogi. Do we have a smoke in the... Nope. Restocking in about 2 minutes, whereas for the Radiant side, restocking in 5 minutes. Inventory is void of smoke, so both teams have used all of their smokes. That is nice to see, I have to say. Stomanen now just 3D warding. It is a little bit scared because they don't have proper like ward vision, only just sentries around. But Elder Dragon form level 2, farming up those ancients. Getting the Hawk down, easy breed fire, even used the kinetic field, although the Hawk was already killed. Maybe they were thinking that somebody might be close by. But Queen of Pain is gonna go for the Eul Scepter next. Just dodge a couple of things, be able to lift yourself up in the air if you do get connected by that static storm. The game definitely has slowed down now, kill difference only 3. I think it used to be like 8 or something crazy like that, maybe even more. Just Necro level 1 recipe is in the stash. But Necro level 1 isn't all that strong and sometimes it just ends up feeding more gold and XP than it's worth. Gogi mid lane, there's the Eul Scepter, but there is quite the backup from mYi as well. Hookshot, oh, lands into Gogi himself. That hookshot looked like he was expecting a Queen of Pain to jump in there. But looking at Pure Evil, he has 1k gold. He's so close to an Aghanim Scepter. That Aghanim Scepter might be just disastrous for mYi. But Gyrocopter hasn't even gone for a BKB because he's like, yes, so many things will go through. Oh, Crystal Nova lands on 2 though. Laguna Blade, no, the Static Storm stops the Laguna Blade. Pure Evil, Eul Scepters himself up, will survive for a little while longer. Christine's still alive though. Pure Evil gets the Laguna Blade at least. Magic Wand gets the Light Strike Array as well onto Gogi, and well, no BKB means that you are dead. It could have gone a little bit better, but in the end, the outcome is still extremely good for basically unknown, because not only do they get the just 3 kills, which out of 2 were core heroes, it's just also the tier 2 that they just managed to get rid of. And now the heroes being dead, none of them have buybacks. None of the dire side heroes in general have buyback. And Beastmaster, he just picked up that recipe for the Necro level 1, now already has enough for level 2 as well. Milan pops the Elder Dragon form, but they're losing damage, and since nobody's buying back, basically unknown can just keep on going. They have the double boars helping out as well. I mean, 60 damage per pop, it's no joke. Viper Strike thrown out, a nice overgrowth just to delay things out. Nobody has a BKB, nobody has a Manta Style to dispel it, but they will get the tier 3 down and then back off. And I really like that they actually fully committed onto the tier 3 as well. Stomanen is gonna tank a hookshot, but support Crystal made an acceptable loss. Oh, they get the glimpse on the rise as well. Maybe that's not as great anymore. Looks like he's trying to go for a BKB, but at the moment he is just gonna die because, of course, you get Dragon Tail just surrounded by 4 heroes. Just no escaping from that one. So they get an additional straggler. Just, I think it was on the edge of this Observer ward. Maybe it was a Thunder Strike on him, not sure. But it's still a tier 3 down. Still basically unknown, having the advantage by about, well, 7,000 net worth. XP once again drops down to 4k. So XP wise it's not that big of a difference. But Pure Evil now only 500 gold away, just trying to push out bottom lane. He cannot go too far. Just because you don't have a blink Eul Scepter, yes, you're a little bit faster on your feet. You may be able to dodge a couple of things with the Euls. But in the long run, it's not as great as when you would have a blink, for example. Or at least the Eul's blink combination. Now Sonic Wave thrown out. Not quite enough to demolish the creep wave, even Milan just pulls himself back up as well. They get the living armor on Gogi, and that's gonna be tier 1 taken. But since they saw that many heroes mid lane, they just knew that they can actually push, or at least have the Lina push bottom lane. And one funny thing is that 25 minutes in, we haven't even had a Roshan yet. That is fairly uncommon for the games that I've been casting mostly. But Gyrocopter is number 1 in net worth, is maybe gonna go for a BKB now, has the overclub at least. There's a tiny chance that it's gonna be just Sange into Silver's Edge. I mean, disabling corrosive skin is like so-so. So it may not be Silver's Edge, it's probably gonna be the BKB instead. Just I actually want to be able to survive in the fight, but Sonic Wave goes through it. Now that the Aghanims is finished on Pure Evil, Laguna Blade goes through it. Especially should it hit level 3, 950 pure damage, followed by the 575? Yes, 575 with the Aghanims buff. But TP's bottom lane, Smudge might be in some trouble. Pure Evil closing in. Shadow Strike to slow him. Oh, Shadow Strike got dodged by the Evil Scepter of Lina. Light Strike Ray also misses. That's double misplaced, but Frostbite will keep him in place. He gets the hookshot. Can they kill Pure Evil before his Laguna Blade? Oh, wow. Light Strike Ray does catch him, and Pure Evil will survive for now. But only with 40 health. Never mind. Thunderstrike gets the kill by Grisine. That kill, in the end, or the trade favoring my Insanity, or well, kind of an even one. Gold, two extra gold gained by basically Unknown. But that should have been a clean kill with no issues whatsoever. But that turned out to be really hard and just cost them the Lina as well. That's what miscommunication does to you guys. Now though, 1500 gold in Nico Baby's bank, has an ultimate orb. Is it gonna be Lincoln Sphere, Hex? I'm hoping for Hex. Just to blink in Hex onto really anybody, especially if the BKB start coming out now. Milan has one, 10-second fresh. Gogi gonna have it soon enough. Only needs about 500 more gold and 500 gold for a Gyrocopter. Really not that hard to farm up. And as you can see, his farm speed is faster. So basically Unknown, they might be on kind of a just time bomb here. Well, at least Dragon Knight isn't overly farmed, so that definitely increases the time window for the side of basically Unknown. But Dumpster player, Rise, does need the Mithril Hammer only for his own BKB, so he's missing 350 gold from it. And we have a group up from my Insanity. It really feels like they have a smoke somewhere. But nope, they are just grouped up in being afraid that somebody might jump them. It's not even just unjustified. But looking at the graphs, they have stagnated quite heavily, at least if you're basically Unknown. At like 15 minutes in, you had a massive lead, and now it's almost double that length into the game. And you're just losing ground. Or at least it feels like it. Yes, they can still take pretty nice fights. They got the tier 3 down top after all. But they need more. They just need more. And the thing is, sometimes you can just go for the... Oh, there's a smoke coming in. They get the hookshot into the Viper. He has a haste rune but can't get out. Gogi, he gets a Sonic Wave into him. Where's the Laguna Blade? Oh, still there, but doesn't want to use it. The Rise. There's the Laguna Blade, but not enough. Overgrowth keeps a Rise in place. Pure Evil goes for a stun, but in the end will lose his life. Chaslo does TP out somehow. Nico Baby goes to the backlines, cleans up the clockwork, but it's a 3-for-2 trade. Nico Baby, can he escape? Yes. Blink, 6-second cooldown, gets her to safety. But still, a fight won by my Insanity. Maybe not as convincing as they wanted it to be, but a win is a win, plus Gyrocopter survives. And that's the thing. You use the Laguna Blade, use the Sonic Wave, but their physical damage output is just almost non-existent. And, well, with this, just my Insanity taking the edge over Unknown in the fight. It's hard for Unknown as well, just using those spells. You could see Lina just didn't want to really use it into that BKB Gyrocopter. Of course, the Laguna Blade damage goes through, but he was a little bit hesitant, just maybe try to blow up a couple of heroes before and then just focus on the Gyrocopter when there are fewer heroes on my Insanity to just wreak havoc otherwise. But we are paused now. One went to the toilet, okay. Nervous bladder for my Insanity. Confirmed, guys. Confirmed. Just couldn't take it any longer. I can somewhat understand it. Well, only somewhat. But it's better to go rather than just suffer through it and lose the game because of it. In all honesty, so... It's better to go. I mean, you have pauses for a reason after all. And it also serves as like a semi-tactical pause, if nothing else. And well, do we have any item progression that I may have missed once again? Looking at the items now. Just lots of Aghanim Scepters, 3 Aghanim Scepters on Unknown. There is an Necro level 3 now, so that's nice for pushing and also in the fights if you can properly use it. Double BKBs on my Insanity already mentioned. And the Aghanim Scepter and Disruptor is halfway done. Needs another 1.6k gold to finish it up proper. But once he gets that, Static Storm is gonna be absolute. There's not gonna be almost anything you can do to just stop it. But they're still not ready. Somebody said go. Oh, it was a rise, but Milan still need a little bit longer. It's fine though. Better safe than sorry. And we have another pause. Somebody unpaused? You okay? Wait. Did they unpause? Yes, a rise unpaused. Whoops! Sorry guys, I didn't want to. I totally didn't want to unpause, I swear. But well, he did it anyway, so it happened. So they can move camera, what? Oh, it was now... No, it was Dragon Knight pausing again, so I'm not too sure what they're talking about. It was... I don't even know. Crystal Maiden paused? Wait. Wasn't it my Insanity pausing at the start? I'm getting completely confused here. That's because I had to mod a guy to just moderate chat a little bit. So that you spammers, you betting spammers wouldn't go for too massive of a thing. And by the way, betting odds for this were quite heavily, at least on eBettle, it was quite heavily favoring Basically Unknown, but at the moment, well, it's not looking that bad. They still have a lead, but if I had bet on Basically Unknown, I wouldn't be feeling too comfortable at this point in time. Gogi now gets himself a double damage, and that could be considered like the perfect opportunity to try to go for Roche, but Roche is of course a place where Basically Unknown can go for a pretty good fight. Primal Roar can get some AoE from that as well, just push people maybe even onto the high ground there, onto the cliffs. And of course Sonic Wave would have massive value in there, but then again, it's not like my Insanity's own Roche fight is bad. Power Cogs, Call Down, Static Storm as well there. And speaking of Static Storm, or well, the hero of it, Grisine, goes down, but he gets off the Static Storm before. Couchor caught with Smudge now. He's doing a little bit too much damage to Smudge. Necrobooks, will they be able to finish up Smudge? Nope. There comes that living armor, and Gogi just comes in, finishes up the Necro unit. So in the end, not gonna be worth the kill there. Or actually, what? XP wise, Beastmaster got more XP from that. Okay then. Beastmaster hit level 14. Disruptor is higher level than the Beastmaster, that's why. I didn't think that's gonna happen, but... well, it was true. Nico Baby though, smoked up, Blink Forward, gets the Hex onto Gogi. Do they have the follow-up lockdown? They need it before the BKB to get the Evil Scepter. It's gonna need to be perfect timing. But Gogi tries to turn it around, gets a Laguna Blade in the face, and well, hookshot didn't really help them either. They do still, for some reason, stand in the cooldown. But they had a couple of bottle charges, so they will be fine. BKB on the rise, 10-second one, but Gyrocopter down, that is the highest priority. Just prevent him from farming. And while the damage is real if you use both the Sonic Wave and the Laguna Blade like that on the hero. Of course, the Hex definitely helping out, getting that, I think, Shadow Strike, at least the Scream of Pain damage as well before the BKB. Every little amount of damage helps pre-BKB there. Now though, somebody pings out. Not even the enemy agents, they're like, yeah, let's just go here. I want to place like a ward here maybe on this hill. Get some proper aggressive vision, and maybe Unknown can go for a Roche themselves. They don't have the fastest Roche still. Inner Beast Aura does help. Necro level 3 certainly so also. Pure Evil now goes into Ancients, the enemy ones. Does see them. Hawk to come and scout as well. I mean, Gyrocopter being dead should be an opening for them to like do whatever they want almost. But they have gotten a really nice coverage of wards now across the map. If you just toggle the vision on the Radiant side, they will see my Insanity just farming or just coming for the most part. But of course they cannot see Lizard, the Treant Protector, in the Nature Skies. Nico Baby just goes in, pops the Roshan spell block, but they're gonna go in now that the Clockwork has respawned. Maybe a little bit suicidal, but they're kiting things out. Rocket Flare though does get vision, and if I was Basically Unknown, I would advise against this. So they are gonna back off now. They were just making fun around the idea of going for Roshan. Well, now that they have a gem flying out for pure evil, they may even just go for it and succeed. The Graphstone network just keeps on getting lower still as well, only about a 3,500 lead now, what used to be 7.5, and that was 15 minutes in. For that, it's a massive lead. 3k in XP, well, I guess XP has risen a little bit, but all in all, they are still slowly but surely falling behind. Well, not behind, but losing their lead. Chat is calling that Gyrocopter needs himself a Titanic. Oh, they get the Yule Scepter onto the tree and Protector. Newly acquired gem coming out big, even popping the Sonic Wave. It is a low cooldown, and it's probably even worth it. Homing Missile in the meantime gets killed. Couchor just juked that one out. Dragon Knight finishes a Shadow Blade. May finish it into a Silver's Edge proper. And we had an Aghanims on somebody. Oh, Disruptor. Oh, Grisine Aghanims. Of course, how many items do we have? Yule Scepter can't be used now. Neither Nico Baby or Pure Evil if they get caught. But there's the hookshot. The Rise once again gets caught. Static Storm as well. Can't do anything at all. Milan gets the Elder Dragon for Gogi. Gets Primal Roar, but they need the pure damage, which they just don't have. Where's the Laguna Blade? Pure Evil comes in. Laguna Blade. No, he gets stunned. What was that? What the hell was that? I don't know. But the Laguna Blade would have gotten the kill. Now they get a hugely long range glimpse of the Queen of Pain as well. Can't blink out. Got Dragon Tail before. 4 heroes down. A straight out disaster, and this must be Roshan now as well. What's picked up? Nothing. Gogi just, I think, sold an item. Ring of Aquila, I think, was sold here. Wanted to make space for that Aegis. What? What was that? Ah! Guys, please! It was disarray, basically unknown. They got caught off guard. The Rise once again getting hookshot like that. The Static Storm only catching a Rise is actually not even that bad for basically unknown, but they were unable to capitalize, couldn't get the proper angle. My Insanity, they just spread out the fight a little bit too much for basically unknown to do much of anything. So well done, winning a massive fight, getting Roshan afterward, and things, as minutes pass, look better and better. Now the Satanic is finished, that the chat was calling for the Gyrocopter. That gives him a reasonable amount of tank just through stats alone. And of course, should you drop lower, you pop the Satanic and you will be life-stealing yourself back to full, more or less. And now my Insanity have actually taken the lead as well. Not only just mentally, but, well, I guess physically, I don't know. 2500 network lead for them, 5000 in XP. Suddenly, Milan, he just purchased the Shadow Blade, now running around with 2.2 thousand gold. 2.2k. Now, even Lizard is getting somewhat close to his own Aghanim Scepter, has the point booster, has the Staff of Wizardry, only needs the Blade of Alacrity and the Ogre Club. By this point, basically unknown must be feeling the pressure already. They still have the ability to just blow people up, but in a 5-on-5 fight, they probably just lack enough cooldowns to blow up everybody. Clockwork getting, well, not even that tanky, but a little bit tankier. Still 1500 health is quite a bit to go through if you don't have like a Gyrocopter with a flak cannon running around. Of course, Gyrocopter himself doesn't have any like proper damaging items yet, but his first priority is stay alive, and then you can start thinking about just going for damage. Plus, his flak cannon plus rocket barrage and cooldown, they do plenty of damage anyway. It's definitely more than the Viper is doing at the moment, I think. Now, Tree Protector purchases a smoke for the team, probably just came off cooldown or something. Well, maybe not just, but a little while ago. Nico Baby, hanging around, but there is an Invis rune onto Milan. Lizard, his Invis breaks, but runs past the sentry. Do they have vision? Pinks come out in the multitudes. Chashlo TP's out and everybody will back off from this gank. So they will be safe for now, and they're probably going to try to avoid fighting until the Aegis expires. But that's going to be another 3 minutes, well, a little bit less, 2 minutes, 50 seconds or so. Grisine up to another 2k gold thanks to the Hand of Midas having ticked, and Lina, who was so far ahead of, well, most heroes, has now fallen behind, and the income on basically unknown was just the kills earlier on, and, well, some of the towers that did fall. Now, though, doesn't look like they can go for any towers, any kills at all, almost. Blink Dagger picked up on the Disruptor, so the positioning for the Static Storm so much easier. It's even a level 3 Static Storm, so even the damage of it is solid, I should say. 300 damage per second. Well, in the later seconds at least. But that's a massive amount of damage, to be honest. So if you can catch multiple heroes when they don't have BKBs activated, which, well, they won't. Maybe the Viper will, but looking at Unknown. Oh! They get the Static Storm, Nico Baby. No way to escape, can't use items, and that's gonna be the death of the Queen of Pain. Great combination, just Mitch going in. Although they might get the counter kill onto Gogi, but he has an Aegis, gets the BKB before the stun as well. Gonna get Primal Roar, Chaslo, pop the Necrobook, Laguna Blade. Well, Fire Soul actually helped out quite a bit as well, but Gogi just turns it around, pops the Satanic, even farms up the Necrobooks. Oh, they get Chaslo as well, Smudge, got that one. Nope, 4 step away, no, Glimpse back. Another disaster, 2 core heroes dead, my Insanity didn't lose a single one, still have the Aegis. This is falling apart big time, and I'm not too sure why they even went for the Gyrocopter, in all honesty. There's a tiny chance that you can blow him up, but I really feel like it's come to a point that you are gonna need to actually also use the Sonic Wave there. And even that may not be enough anymore. They need stuns to make it so that he can't use his Satanic, but with the Elder Dragon form being level 3, things are quickly going from bad to worse. Milan takes a bit of damage. Actually a lot of damage even. Gogi drops low as well, but has the Aegis. Pure Evil. He gets glimpsed back. Yule Scepter's up. But Cogs will be waiting for him, and Pure Evil gonna lose his life. Doesn't have buyback either. Wow, 3 heroes down, but Milan has taken a little bit too much damage from the tier 4. Just tanking that one up. Living Armor comes in, but it's onto Gogi instead. So Milan is gonna have to see what he can do himself. But that's gonna make them back off because Milan was a little bit too low. So, considering they popped the Elder Dragon form, I really expected them to get a little bit more pushing-wise out of it. Still, 39 minutes in, my Insanity have taken a hefty lead. Lizard only 350 gold short of an Aghanim Scepter as well, and from that point onwards, the demise of basically Unknown will start. In Wild Access can clear up trees, so that's nice, I guess. But the map will be covered in the trees eventually, if the game even lasts long enough to this. But now Didi is on the bottom. It's just like, who picks up the double damage? Well, Queen of Pain is probably the best, but can't you really stay in the fight to actually attack there, like right click? I wouldn't think so. But Arise is holding a Vitality booster, so probably gonna try to go for the Heart of the Rask. And well, once he gets the heart, he's definitely gonna be tanky, but are they still gonna lack the damage? Oh, I actually like this one. Queen of Pain going for the Maelstrom, which of course means that if he gets the Mjolnir, it may be just enough like AoE damage flying around to go for those faster kills, and they smoke up now as well. They need to get the pick off, and if they get the pick off, looking at the buyback status, if they kill anybody but the Gyro or Dragon Knight, they won't even have buyback. So getting those kills may lead into more kills like a little bit later on, because their cooldowns are rather short on ultimates. So that's the one positive. 50 seconds on Laguna Blade, 40 seconds on Sonic Wave. But who will they get first? Milan has a BKB, still on 8 seconds as well. But there's the Primal Roar coming out. They need the follow-up damage onto Gogi as well. But he has a Lotus Orb on him, they can't focus. And now look at that Static Storm. Just combination. 2 heroes are down. They couldn't get a single spell off. Beautifully done by Clockwork, getting those power cogs. Viper now glimpsed back, stunned up anyway. Turns around for 1 Viper strike, but 3 are down. I really thought basically Unknown might get the jump with the smoke like that. They even brought Milan down low, but just going for the hook, not the hook, but the blink Primal Roar onto Gogi like that, it just meant that the follow-up wasn't there fast enough. And the Clockwork, still him, so well done. Also popping the Lotus Orb onto Gogi like that. That made it so that Unknown like kind of had no chance. And with this, their only hero that could buy back the Viper did so. Oh, another hookshot, Nico baby. Do they have enough stuns? Yule Scepter is there. I should be able to blink out. I think, no, the Dragon Tail. I really thought Nico baby might be fine, but dead for 80 seconds. That's gonna be 1 set of racks minimum, I think. They don't have the Elder Dragon form though, so it's gonna be a little bit slower. What's flying out to Milan? Oh, full AC. Aghanim Scepter flying out to Lizard, and well, Gogi at least doesn't have an agent anymore, so I guess that's good. Gets Viper struck up as well, but can they chase him down? I have my doubts about it. So with the Aghanims now, probably the first trees will be just created now. Oh, another hookshot, Stomanen, no! Crystal Maiden, please survive! Static Storm even comes out. And that's another kill for them. Plus, they also killed the Beastmaster. He was completely in the back line somehow, so both racks are down. 3 heroes dead for at least 30 seconds. And that is good game, well played. Basically Unknown, they had a pretty solid lead. But one fight made it so that Basically Unknown were a little bit hesitant to keep on fighting. And with that, mYi just managed to come back, took another good few fights. And of course, just Living Armor keeping them buildings alive as well. Couldn't even slow siege or anything. You had to fully commit. So with this mYi, take game number 1, which may be considered somewhat of an upset if you look at like betting sites and everything. But, well, this was only game number 1 and this is a best of 3. So if you bet on Basically Unknown, there's no reason to worry quite yet. But guys, we are done with this game. Gonna head into game number 2. Hopefully you enjoyed the game as well as the casting. Unfortunately, I am solo casting just because, well, our people are extremely busy at the moment with traveling and just casting other tournaments. But if you liked it, you can follow me at Couchor. Normally, I'm casting for HeflaTV, so you can check that one out. It's HeflaTV on both Facebook and Twitter. And of course, huge shout out to the sponsors. G2A, the main sponsor for it. eBattle, of course, helping out as well. And Yardfest for even organizing this. So shout out to them, and we will see you for game number 2 shortly.